What is going on, my yoga family? It's Ben here, and today we got a nice slow power flow. So this class is designed to be extremely challenging. It will be challenging for me as we do it. I'll probably be breaking a lot of sweat, and in addition to that, we won't be moving too fast. So it's not like a crazy power flow where we're just going from this pose to that pose to that pose. We're moving slow, we're feeling connected, we're really noticing our muscle tissues and our body move because we have the time to do so. At the same time, we're doing challenging poses and we're holding them for a little bit longer. This is slow power flow. This is how I like to move, my favorite type of yoga asana movement. So let's go ahead and get it started. Downward facing dog. Find your down dog, that upside down V shape. Maybe you're already feeling a little warm because you've done other stuff today. Maybe you're feeling super tight because this is the first type of kind of movement you've done today. Either way, it's all good. You have a little bit of time in this down dog to bend your knees or elbows, to shift left to right. So just check in with yourself to notice how things are feeling. And most importantly, you get to check in with how you're breathing. I promise you, during a slow power class like this, the steadier you can breathe, the more ease you're going to feel in your body. If your breath is all choppy and tight, everything will feel that much kind of harder, and it'll be frustrating when you have to hold things for a while because it's not too fun when you're not really breathing. You know what I'm saying? From this downward facing dog, let's get right into it. Lift the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And then the challenge here is to float your left hand off the mat and reach left hand toward left hip. Of course, this is an off-balance shape, so if you fall out of it, it's all good. Just try again. There's never any shame to failing or falling. I promise you the only reason I can do this with stability is because I've done it so many times without stability, and I eventually just built that muscle memory and that focus and that ability to be here. Of course, even I'm wobbling quite a bit. We'll go ahead and release. Left hand returns, right foot returns, and then we switch left foot to the sky, three-legged dog, and then try your best. Reach right hand to right hip. Maybe you can do it without falling. Maybe you do it with a few falls. Either way, even if you could just hold this for a moment, that's awesome. Because we haven't even really warmed up yet. We're already doing challenging shapes. Super cool. So we'll go ahead and release. Right hand, left foot, both return. Look forward to the hands, rise to the toes, bend the knees, and then step, walk, or hop. Feet up to hands, forward fold toward the top of the mat. Take a moment just to sway the body around here. Get rid of some of that stuck energy. And then let's do 3 half sun A's. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Place the palms down, plank pose, step back. Find your strong plank, so engage your legs. Drive the heels back behind you. Protract the shoulder blades to activate your serratus anterior, the little muscle beneath your armpit. And then try to externally rotate the arms a little bit. So eyes of the elbows forward, pointy parts of the elbows back. Hold here for 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing really nice and steady for 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. I was like, what comes after 12? 10, 9. The brain doesn't function as well when you're holding a challenging plank for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Drop the knees, send the hips back. Sacrifice the body down. Take a nice breath in. Nice breath out. Look forward to the palms. Pull yourself through upward facing dog. Into our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift the right leg. Lift the left palm. Try it out again. Focus on your balance, on your stability for 5, 4, 3, 2. Amazing work on one. Release. Right foot down, left hand down, and then switch. Left foot to the sky, right hand to the sky. All that matters is effort. And even no matter how strong you are, you're going to be trembling a little bit here because of how off balance we are. So embrace that. Use it as an opportunity. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 rolling vinyasa type movements. So rise to the toes, bend the knees, and then spring yourself to high plank by straightening the legs and rolling forward. From this plank pose, drop the knees to hover over the mat and then scoop the hips up. Downward facing dog. Do that again. Rise to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and then straighten the legs to spring and roll the body, plank pose. And drop the knees to hover over the mat and then scoop the hips up and back. One more. Rise to the toes, bend the knees. Straighten the legs to spring the body forward, plank pose. And then drop the knees to hover, scoop the hips up and back. From here, lift the right leg to 3-legged dog, and this time step forward, low lunge. Drop the left knee, lift the hands to the sky. Bring the palms to heart center, twist right. Hook the left elbow on the right knee if you can, and then get really strong in the left foot. So tuck the left toes under, and then press up into a twisted crescent lunge. From twisted crescent lunge, open the arms away from each other, and then lift the upper body into a standing twist, or more of an upright twist. So the left hand reaches forward, the right hand reaches back, and we're still spiked onto the balls and the toes of the left foot. From here, like we're revolving around an axis, unwind the body. Warrior 2 feels quite nice to open up. Then settle yourself here. This is a shape that we're holding for a little bit. The longer we hold this, the more frustrated we may be. As long as we're still breathing steady the whole time, we're in good shape. Maybe even close the eyes. Can you cultivate a sense of calmness during challenging times? Beautiful job. Side angle pose, Parsva Konasana. Bring right elbow to right knee. Extend the left arm overhead. Feel length in the whole left side of your body. Option here to wrap the left arm behind your low back. The left hand can even reach for your right thigh. Option to reach the right hand under your right thigh for a bind. If you're binding, roll the left shoulder up and back. So much activation. You can even start to straighten your leg into a bound triangle pose. No worries if you're not ready for that. You can always just stay in that first version of side angle, because we're all meeting back there. So side angle pose, left hand reaches overhead, right hand reaches overhead. This pose is so hard right here. I always struggle. The core is working so hard. We're acting like we're holding a volleyball over our head with both hands reaching forward. And then reverse your warrior. Stay low as you reach the right hand up and back, lengthen the right side body. Triangle pose. Straighten the right leg, release the upper body forward and down. Open yourself up to new possibilities. Breathe in, breathe out. Press through the legs, rise up to stand, pivot the toes to the left side of your mat, fold forward. Wide-legged, standing fold. Let's stretch out the shoulders here. Walk the hands forward until you can't no more. Feel like the hips are being pulled up and back as the hands stretch forward. You can wiggle the hips out a little bit. For me, this just feels like a nice lengthening of my shoulders. Of course, I'd say like 85% of the weight is in the feet and in the legs, and then just like 10 or 15% of the weight is in the hands and the arms. Nice and steady. Eventually, we'll go ahead and walk the hands to the right foot. Runner's lunge facing forward. And then step back into a one-legged plank. So keep the right foot lifted as you come into plank pose. This is where we get a nice challenge. Take 3 push-ups, or try to. So keep the right foot lifted. Lower, low plank. High plank, that's 1. Low plank, high plank, that's 2. Low plank, high plank, that's 3. Release both feet, upward facing dog. Drop the hips, pull the hips forward, lift the chest. Downward facing dog. Oh goodness, what a nice little steady challenge right there. For all parts of the body. We'll lift the left leg, three-legged dog. And then step left foot to left thumb. Low lunge, drop to the right knee, reach the hands up. Find a little bit of movement if you'd like. And then palms come to center, twist left. You can use right elbow on left knee if you want. And then get nice and strong in the right foot and press the right knee up off the mat, twisted. Crescent lunge. From here, open the arms away from each other and then lift the torso into more of a standing twist. Then from here, we're just twisting around the axis. Open up, drop the right heel. Warrior 2 feels so nice. And then as you remember, we have a little bit of time here. Settle the body in. Find a little bit of relaxation, y'all. Just be happy to be here. It's a wonderful day. Instead of thinking like, damn, I gotta take this yoga class so I get my movement in, say, I get to take this yoga class because this guy Ben, he's pretty cool. No, I'm just playing. But, you know, you can make this into a happy experience for yourself, or you can make this into a chore. Why not make it into a happy experience? Side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right hand overhead. Option to stay here, option to reach for a half bind with your right arm or a full bind with your left arm. Option to stay here or even go into your bound triangle. Either way, we're all going to meet back in that standard side angle and then reach both hands overhead like we're gripping that volleyball. So much hard work, so much beautiful work. Breathe. Reverse it. Left hand to the sky. Stay low, stay low, stay low. Triangle pose, Trigonasana. Reach the left hand down to the mat or to your shin. Open the body up. Find your potential. Breathing in. Breathing out. Drive through the feet, rise to stand, pivot your feet to the right side of your mat, and then find your wide-legged fold. From here, I have a fun invitation. Place the palms on the mat slightly in front of you, or kind of slightly in front of the shoulders, and then lean forward onto the hands. We'll feel the heels lift, rise onto the tippy toes. As if in a perfect world you could rise to a handstand. Maybe this is where you stop. Maybe you find some floatiness. Who knows? Either way, as long as the effort is there, then you're in the right place. Keep reaching the heels up off the mat. Keep leaning forward onto the hands for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, return. Bring the weight back into the feet and then reach the hands up toward the left foot. One-legged plank pose. Step back, reach the left foot back. 3 push-ups. Of course, they're optional. You can always bring the right knee to the mat as well. So lower down, press up. Lower down, press up. Lower down, press up. Upward facing dog. However you need to get there. That upward facing dog is very well deserved. Into our downward facing dog. Hips press up and back. Allow yourself to reset here. Breathe. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold back of the mat. I'll give a couple options here. 1 is just relax. 2, ragdoll, clasp opposite hand to elbow. 3, Padahastasana, gorilla pose, sliding the palms under the feet. Number 4, Padahastasana, hand to toe pose by hooking your first and second fingers around your big toes. Or you can even interlace your hands behind your low back and then press your palms overhead for a shoulder stretch. Anything's possible, but I love stretching out my wrists, so that's why I'm in my gorilla pose right here. Inhales and exhales. I know I needed a little bit of softness, a little bit of a break after some of those movements. We got off to a quick start. We have sort of one more core flow today that we're going to go through. So much strength. You got this because you're strong and because we're almost there. Downward facing dog. Walk the hands out to the top of your mat. Float the right leg, three-legged dog. Float the left hand, two-legged dog. As you can see, I'm still feeling wobbly, and that's okay. From here, optional challenge to shift forward into a two-limbed plank and bring right knee to right tricep. Keep reaching the left arm up toward the sky or to the left hip. And then release, downward facing dog. Beautiful work regardless of where you found yourself. Lift the left leg to the sky. Lift the right arm up to the sky. Oop, that didn't work out that time, but it's okay. I'm trying again. Option to stay here. Option to shift forward into your two-limbed plank and maybe bring left knee to the left elbow. It's kind of a ridiculous proposition, but it's worth a try. And then back to our downward facing dog. As you land in down dog, right leg to the sky, and then step forward, low lunge. Drop to the left knee, lift the hands to the sky. Bring the palms to center, twist right. Tuck the left toes under. Press up into your twisted lunge. Open the arms away from each other. And then lift up into more of your standing twist. Left hand forward, right hand back. And then like we're revolving around our axis, open warrior two. We'll pause here. Even though warrior two is a challenge, since we get to spend a little bit of time here, use that as an opportunity to catch your breath. That's what I'm about to do because I'm feeling a little bit out of breath. So I'm going to close my eyes and just breathe a little bit slower. And the thing is, breathing slower doesn't mean I'm breathing less. If anything, it means I'm breathing more. It's because my inhales are deeper, my exhales are fuller. It's almost tricking my mind saying, no, you're actually pretty calm. You're actually completely okay. This warrior two doesn't have to be a stressful thing. It can be a restorative thing. Side angle. Right elbow to right knee, left hand overhead. You're welcome to find your bind in your side angle. You're welcome to find your fallen triangle or bird of paradise. I'm going to go ahead and give bird of paradise a try. So with the bind, stepping the left foot up to the top of the mat. I'm feeling wobbly as heck today. And then lifting left leg up, maybe extending, or excuse me, lifting right leg up, maybe extending the right leg. Either way, if you're going for bird of paradise, like me, come back. Right foot lands, keep the bind, left foot steps back. And then we all meet in that ridiculous form of side angle with both of our arms reaching. Whew, this is so hard, y'all. Grip that beach ball, maybe even bring palms together as you reach. And then reverse your warrior. Right hand to the sky. Triangle pose, straighten the right leg. Release it down. This time I have another additional proposition, which is Artachondrasana, half moon. Start to reach forward, right hand to the ground in front of you. Left leg floats. You can stay here, or you can even bend your left knee and reach the left hand back to the left foot. Press left foot into left hand. Almost like a deeper version of dancer's pose, Nacharajasana. And then we're reaching back. So left foot reaches back behind us for half moon. And then we land in a warrior two. As we land in warrior two, straighten the legs, pivot the feet to the left side, wide-legged, standing fold. Relax into your fold. You can take a mellow break here. If you'd like to play with an inversion, again, you can place the hands down and lean forward onto your toes. I'm going to play with a headstand by bringing my head to the mat, bringing my forearms down, and then floating onto my toes, and then floating my legs. Of course, all of this is optional. If headstand is not in your practice, you could always just stay in the fold, or you could just try. Place your head down and then place your forearms down. And then see what it feels like just to start leaning forward. Again, all you have to do to try is start picking your heels up off the mat and leaning onto your tippy toes. And if you're doing that, then in my opinion, it's just as much of a headstand as what I'm currently doing, because you're laying the groundwork. Of course, I was at a point in my practice not too long ago where I couldn't do headstand or anything, but after years of practicing and breathing and being patient, headstand and all these other inversions feel easeful for me. It's not because I'm better, it's just because, time and practice inevitably lead to ease. Either way, release. And then walk the hands forward to the right foot. Runner's lunge. Step back to your one-legged plank. And then we have 3 push-ups. Option to drop the left knee. Release down. Press up. Release down. Press up. Release down. Press up. Upward facing dog. Pull the hips through. Lift the chest. Breathe. Downward facing dog. Oh, goodness. Good work. As you lift the left leg, 3-legged dog, step forward. Drop the right knee, low lunge with the left foot in front. Palms come to center, twist left. Tuck the right toes under. Press the right knee up. Twisted crescent lunge. Open the arms up wide and then rise up. We'll be here for a few breaths. Reach the hands apart, right hand reaches forward. Find some stability in the hips. The twist is just coming from the upper body. And then unwind yourself. Warrior 2. Open out the arms. Cultivate calmness. Close the eyes. You are calm. You are here now. Side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right hand overhead. Option for a half bind, option for a full bind, option for fallen triangle, option for bird of paradise, which is what I'm trying out. If you don't know what bird of paradise is, you can just watch. And disclaimer, I do not do this perfectly. I do not really do this easefully yet, but I do it because it's a fun challenge for myself. And I find that when I challenge myself, it brings more mindfulness into how I move. Either way, returning, left foot drops, right foot steps back. We'll all meet in that ridiculous version of side angle. Palms reach overhead so hard. Let's be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Reverse your warrior into your triangle pose. Just breathe here. Allow yourself to pause. From here, Artachondrasana, balancing half moon, bring it forward. Float the right heel up. I like to keep my left fingertips on the mat or to a block. Then bend your right knee, reach back for the top of your right foot, open the hips. Imagine you're in dancer's pose, just a more open version, especially in the hips. And then release. Warrior 2, drop the right foot to the back of the mat, and then straighten the legs. Wide-legged forward fold, last time here. Find any variation you want. We'll just be here for another 10, 9, 8. If you want to float or go upside down, go for it for 7, 6. I'm staying right here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, come through neutral and then reach the hands to the top of the mat, runner's lunge. One-legged plank, left foot stays lifted. 3 push-ups, lower down, lift up, lower down, lift up, lower down, lift up, into our upward facing dog. Nice work. Downward facing dog. As we come into downward facing dog, look forward And you can do a little jump through or you can do a walk through. We'll end up on our backs. So eventually, coming down, hips land. Let's recline onto our backs. Set up for bridge pose. So walk the feet in nice and close to the hips. I like to kind of reach my hands toward my Achilles tendons and then drive through the feet to lift the hips up to the sky. And so there's many different ways. I'm going to try to adjust the mic so that I'm not breathing directly onto it, but there's a lot of ways to find bridge pose. You can keep your hands pressing down into the mat. You can interlace your fingertips behind your low back. You can reach for your ankles like what I'm doing. Either way, just work into the extension of your spine. Breathe fully. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. Either hug your knees into your chest or find a plow pose to offset some of that spinal extension. Plow pose, one of my favorites, just by reaching the feet back behind your head, feeling a deep, deep rounding into the spine, especially in the cervical spine around the neck. So just being mindful if you have any pain points in your upper spine. And then we have one more opportunity in bridge pose. Of course, you're welcome to take it into a wheel pose. Either way, let's go ahead and give it a shot. So roll back down. Release your feet onto the mat. Walk them nice and close into your hips. And then press on up into your bridge or wheel posture. Make sure you breathe. Cultivate that sense of ease. We'll be here for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Release. One more time, you just hug your knees in or find your plow pose. The intention here is just to move the spine in the opposite way. So finding flexion into the spine instead of like bridge pose, which brings extension. And go ahead and release. Find something that feels relaxing, maybe a Supta Baddha Konasana reclined bound angle, feet together, knees wide. Maybe bring the hands to rest on the heart and belly or on your pointy hip bones. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow the eyelids to close. Beautiful job today, yogis. This is where I will leave you. Allow yourself to stay here and rest into a deep shavasana for a few minutes. Or maybe allow yourself to continue on your practice journey. Either way, I wish you nothing but love, but fulfillment and connection. I will see you soon, 100%. As always, I'm a resource, so let me know if you need anything. Hit me in the comments, like the video, subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Love y'all so much. Peace out.